Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and I don't know what this is going to be called, but I basically, in my mind, I'm thinking currently, and that's what I'm reading, watching, listening to that I want to discuss. Because I feel like I just go through moods of reading more than reading less. And usually then I'm watching more if I'm reading less. And so doing this weekly is a way to have something to talk about all the time, even if I haven't finished a book or finished, I haven't finished a different book from the last time. So this will be my first one this year. Again, I'm going to try to do these weekly unless there's no week where I'm not consuming anything. So it's just up to me to record them. So right now, today is Sunday, January 11th. That's kind of crazy. We're already 11 days into the new year. I'm going to try not to think about that too much. So, reading, watching, listening to. First, we can start with reading, which technically have not started a book this year. I am reading a fan fiction. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's time travel. Having fun. But the book that I just got in from the library is The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. Reading this with my patrons, and I think we're going to have a discussion about it probably early February, and hopefully Angela from Literature Science Alliance is also Heather. I can link their channels below. Will be able to join me because this is a book that they really love. It's the first in a trilogy, adult fantasy. There's ballroom. I really don't know much about it except that I've heard those two rave about it. And so it's one that I'm going to be reading now that I have the ebook. But it is like 630 pages. So I'm kind of nervous because me and long books haven't been working out as well. But it did come in from the library yesterday. I read fan fiction instead. So I'm going to start that tonight because I usually have a habit of reading book club picks way too late, like down to the wire, and I don't want to do that. So that'll be the only book that I start. I don't have an audiobook currently, so it'll just be that one and my fan fiction, which is quite long, so I'll probably switch off reading those. I'm going to go to listening to next and then watching because it's probably the most. Listening to right now, I don't do Spotify because I don't like things to shuffle, and I know you can play your own things, but I've just been an Apple Music girl. So I get either an album that I want to listen to repeatedly or a set of songs, and I just keep listening to those over and over till I'm tired. And sometimes I'll pop on something else. Like I had to drive down to Charleston the other day, so I listened to Adele 30. Excellent album, makes me cry every time, and that was fabulous. But my current repeats are what's it called? Because the problem with this song is that I had to go download it a different way because it's not available on Apple Music or streaming or anything. I guess they had it up for a limited amount of time and then they took it. But it's called Drag Path by 21 Pilots, and I started hearing it on TikTok, of course, and there's so many good edits to it. Been making me emotional, and so I've been listening to that song and I'm obsessed. It's just so good. And so literally I just drove somewhere and I listened to it on the way there. It was like a 10-minute drive. On the way there, the song is almost 5 minutes, and then I replayed it, and then the same on the way back, because I just like to listen to songs over and over. Because once I love them, I want to continue to hear them. 2, because I want to learn the lyrics. And 3, also because especially I usually get emotionally attached to songs when they're a ballad or something, like pop songs. I usually don't have a mental connection, and what I mean that is that I don't come up with there's not a daydream associated with it. But other songs like this one, I start to envision things like I'm in a movie or playing scenes out in my head, and so I like to keep listening to the song to play out that scene in my head. Is that normal? I don't care. Other than that, I have been listening to Olivia Dean's latest album. Specifically, I've been listening to, is it 4 of the songs on repeat? Because they're my favorite right now. But I will eventually go back to the whole album and I may rediscover some others. But my current favorites are Let Alone the One You Love, A Couple Minutes, Of course, Man I Need is there. Oh, Loud and I've Seen It. Those are my absolute favorites. Literally, I'll play them and then I'll just play them again with scenes in my mind. And then also Lizzie McAlpine, who I've been listening to for a couple years now, but certain songs that I've been playing Doomsday on repeat. And also Ceilings, which is the first song I was introduced. I wish I could play them here, but I have no luck in putting any type of copywritten material into my video, not even a snippet. I get a strike, or I would play a little bit of each song for you, but they're all very like emotional songs that I'm listening to. That's just what I'm in the mood for. Although when I do want a little change up, I do put on Midnight Sun. I listen to both the original and the remix with Money Long when I wanna. But literally, I just listen to those constantly until I make myself sick, and then I get a new batch of songs. Or I don't even get a new batch. I just go back and I'm like, let me listen to this. But during my drive, I listened to Adele to 30. I listened to Eagle Death at the Bachelorette Party, Haley Williams album. And I'm always listening to SZA. Always listening to SZA and then shuffling through other things. Oh, and I also recently listened to the Mamma Mia soundtrack and also the Hairspray, the movie, the like 2007 movie soundtrack. Those are my recent like full album listens. And then other than that, it's been cycling through the songs and I'm very happy where I am. I don't, especially with the 21 Pilot song, I still don't know all the words to that one. So I'm still listening and I'm going to be here for a while. Sometimes it lasts a few weeks. Sometimes it lasts months. Like it takes a lot for me to move on sometimes. So that's my listening and watching. Okay. So I've not even restarted. I started Real Housewives of New York from the first season. I started trying to watch the reboot, lost interest, but then I don't know what happened, but I came to the decision, maybe I'll start Roni from the first season. So that's what I've been doing. I'm on season 5. Now there's been a Housewives shakeup, 3 left and we have 3 new ones and I don't know how to feel about them. So I've been kind of paused for a while because I flew through the first 3 seasons, took a little break, watched season 4. So I think I'm only 2 or 3 episodes into season 5. There's been, as much as it pained me to watch Kelly, Ben Simon, and Jill Zarin on my screen, they were such good Housewife TV because they were crazy. And now they're gone and I'm like, So I haven't warmed up to the new Housewife yet. So I've kind of put that one on pause. And then because of all the discourse about the current season of Married to Medicine, I started that over because I watched at least the first 5 seasons. So I started over from season 1. Getting sick was terrible, but I blasted through seasons because I just laid in bed in and out of sleep, especially since I was rewatching. So now I'm on I literally started this at the end of December, Married to Medicine. I'm on season 7. Wow. I'm on season 7, like episode 7 or 8 of Married to Medicine. And that show, season after season, is continuously a mess in a good reality TV watching way. Because in Married to Medicine, the show, the main cast members are all women. Some of them are doctors and some of them are married to doctors. And they're in Atlanta. And the drama, honey, because they're going on trips, they're throwing parties, and there's always mess and beef and yelling and voices raising and shade being thrown about people's mamas, about people's husbands, child, cheating, allegations, divorce. It's so good. There's also some other messy stuff in there, like Dr. Jackie. She's a gynecologist. There's 2 gynecologists, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Dr. Jackie is like very fat phobic. She survived breast cancer twice. And so she also just has like orthorexia because she's very concerned like about gaining any drop of weight, like because if it minimally risk breast cancer, she doesn't want to do it, which I understand. That I can't imagine that trauma, but I could not imagine having her as a doctor. And it's what we're watching on TV, but the way she talks to people about their weight, I prefer to go to Dr. Simone as a doctor. As a person, She is so loud, my lord. Then you have Dr. Heavenly, who is a dentist, and she's married to an ER physician. And then there is Dr. Contessa. What is she? I think she's just I think she's in family medicine, and her husband's also a doctor, but I don't remember what medicine that he practices. Then there's another lady who's newer to the show, and her husband is a psychiatrist. And there was someone who was married to a psychiatrist, but they're getting a divorce. And then there's one lady who is married to another ER physician. It's a mess, child. The money, the drama, you ain't paying your taxes, but it has kept me entertained. And so I've been watching that more than I've been watching Roni, but I need to get back to Roni so that I can get on to the better seasons. Whew, it's so much television. Then I obviously am not watching this currently, but I have to talk about it since it only recently ended with Stranger Things. I loved the final season. I could see the issues, but overall, I thought it was a great finale, and it made me very emotional. A lot of the episodes and the wrapping up of their stories. And I already want to start rewatching it, but I just had to mention that. Then, since I finished Stranger Things and was craving a science fiction fix, somebody on Threads mentioned the show called Fringe, and I had heard of it but never watched it. So I went and looked it up because, you got to check what platform things are on, and it's on Hulu. It started in 2008. There's 5 seasons. So I gave it a try, and that first episode snatched me in, honey. I'm like, oh my God. So I think I've only watched 3 or 4 episodes. The pilot was an hour, almost an hour and a half. Then the episodes are more like 50 minutes after that. But Joshua Jackson and 2 other actors that I know, but I can't think of their names. Also Lance Reddick, rest in peace. So it's like an unlikely team of people. It's kind of like a monster of the week, but they're solving like a science fiction kind of crisis every week. So you have people from the FBI, but then these other people they end up working with who you normally wouldn't team up with. But it's so 2008, if I can put in an image of it. Like, it's set in Boston, but so, they'll be at different places. If they're at Harvard University or if they're at Boston Logan Airport, they'll put these locations on the screen in like this like silver text. And I'm like, it's so 2008. But it's good. I'm really interested in it. I like their dynamic between them because we've got like FBI agent and then we've got like kooky scientist and like this dynamic he has with somebody else. It's great. Like their seriousness, but also a levity to it. And then obviously science fiction is just fun because it's like these things don't really exist, but what if? So, like we've already had kind of like what telekinesis and other like bioweapons and things. And so I'm still very early on into season 1, but I think that I'm definitely going to keep going. And from where I can tell, I think this will be a show that I end up really liking. But those are my main 3 that I'm watching. I'm behind on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because although I enjoy Angie and Mary and Bronwyn, Heather, Whitney, Lisa, and Meredith and Brittany just drag me down, but especially Heather. So I still have a couple episodes of the last season to watch, and I know the reunion is happening soon, and I'm almost like, I don't even know if I want to watch it. Heather really bums me out. I just want her gone. I'm sick of it. She is boring and she's like trying to manufacture the show and I don't like it. But Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm also behind on for a different reason because, well, similar reasons, just different characters. Giselle and Ashley are miserable people. I'm so sick of watching them on my screen, especially Ashley. And I love Stacey and I'm tired of everyone trying to take her down. And so I'm behind on Real Housewives of Potomac, but I probably will finish that one. I'm more torn on if I'll finish Salt Lake City than Potomac because that reunion's coming up and the Grand Dame is going to be returning for the reunion. If you watch, then you know where Karen has been. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to see that. I need to watch at least one part of the reunion where the Grand Dame is on there. So I'm behind on those, even though I've been keeping up with little bits and pieces here from TikTok and from Threads. So busy, And I'm like, am I watching anything else? Well, let me pull up my little TV. It's my iPad. Abbott. I have like 2 episodes that I'm behind on the current season, but I just watched one the other night and I don't even know why I let myself get behind because they're hilarious. The episode starts and I start cackling. I love them all so much. I love Janine. I see myself in her. I love Barbara. I love Ava. I love Melissa. I love Jacob. I love Gregory. I love Mr. Johnson. Who is there not to love? I love that show. It's perfect. It's perfect. And okay, I was gonna see if I was watching anything else. But Pitt is back on HBO. Best medical drama. I loved season 1. It made me cry almost every episode. I got teary-eyed this episode. I didn't fully cry, but season 2 is back. They do weekly releases, which I love, and I think there's going to be 15 episodes, so only 1 episode in. Fantastic. I'm very pleased. I can't wait for the next one. And let's see, the only other thing that I'm currently watching is Before the 90 Days. So I can't keep up because they have all these different spin-offs, but I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé since the first season. But then they started to do Before the 90 Days, and then they did 90 Days the Other Way, and then they also have like some other offshoots, and I haven't watched all of those. I have watched a lot of The Other Way and Before the 90 Days, not all of them. And I pretty much have watched almost every season of 90 Day Fiancé. So this one is Before the 90 Days. So it's people from America who are talking to people abroad, and they're going to visit them before they bring them to America on the K1 visa. Foolishness. We have this man who's flying out to the Philippines. He's allegedly been with her for like 7 years and they've never met. Although if you're on Reddit, that apparently is false. Another man, but they're similar ages. They're like 38, 37. This other man who's like in his 40s and is he closer to, maybe he's in his 50s, has multiple children, flew to, I think, Madagascar for this young woman. She's like 25. Woof. Then there's also, I'm trying to see if I can remember all the couples. Oh, and the guy who went to the Philippines, his mom and stepdad went with him, and his mom is a nightmare. I'm like, you need to grow up. Then there's this lady, I forgot where she's from in the States, but she is like 40 something, and she flew to Turkey to meet this 25-year-old, 26-year-old. I don't think he's into her, but he also seems like a bum because he don't really got nowhere to live, and he don't got no money. He got a lot of debt. There's that. And there's this other girl who she wearing her wig too low, and she flew to, was it Morocco? I feel like it was Morocco to be with this guy. Mess, because he was saying things on the phone, and she got there in person, and he was like, no. Those are the couples I can remember right now. I think that's it. Oh, and then there's this older white lady from Pennsylvania. She in her 50s, who has been married like 5 times, currently married to a woman. She's been married to like 3 men, 2 women, currently still married to this woman, even though they're not together. Flying to Nigeria to meet this younger black man who said that his mother was saved by a random white person one time, so she wants him to marry a white person. This lady ain't got no money though. So I don't know how she is supposed to, because you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to guarantee when you bring somebody in on a 90-day fiancé visa, a K1 visa. Oh my God. I know too much about this, but it's real. I love reality television. I see it as anthropological research, and I basically have my PhD now. I've been watching reality TV since the 90s. MTV, thank you so much. So yes, those are all the things I'm currently watching and listening to, and then obviously I'll be starting my book tonight. So who knows what I'll have for next week, but I think this is fun, a way to share other things and to hear so I would love to hear what you're reading, listening to, watching, especially you got a good song you think I'll like, because let me tell you something that white people do well, especially white women, write a sad song. So especially that, if you have good white woman sad song recommendations, I want to hear about them. Tell me all that down below. Hopefully your new year is off to a good start, you know, barring international news. Barring that, I hope everything is okay. And a reminder, there's still spots on my Trover trips now. Iceland is down to 4 spots left, and Christmas parties have 6. That info is down below. But has my camera been crooked this whole time, or is my head crooked? Well, guess we'll see in editing. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.